More fractions, just what you wanted to be working on, I'm sure. I have something else to tell you about today. This lesson is going to be about simplest form. Now, when we were finding equivalent fractions, we were using multiplication. Simplest form is all about using division, okay? I'm going to put that up here just so we remember. A fraction is at its simplest form when the numerator and denominator have no common factor other than 1. Remember, factors are those numbers that you multiply together to get another number. We want to make sure the numerator, the top of the fraction, and the denominator don't have anything in common other than 1. Common means something that they share, okay? We're going to be learning today how to find what's called greatest common factor. Let's break it down. Greatest means the biggest number. Common means something that both numbers share, and factor are the numbers that you multiply to get that. So I want to give you an example of how to find greatest common factor because you have to be able to do this to find simplest form. So if you have a fraction like 4/12, we need to find the common factors of these numbers. So let's bring 4 over here and let's list the factors for 4. Do the obvious one right away. 1 times 4. Well, how else can we make 4? We know it's an even number, so let's divide it by 2. How many 2's fit into 4? Well, 2 times 2 is the other way to make 4. And that happens to be all the factors for 4. So we have 1, 2, and 4. That's just taking these numbers and writing them in order from least to greatest. Let's do the same thing for 12. So put 12 over here, and we're going to list the factors for 12. Well, 1 times 12 is the easy one. How about 2? It's an even number because it ends in a 2, so we know that it can be 2 times something. You can count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That means there are 6 2's in 12. Let's try 3. Multiples of 3 are easy to count too. 3, 6, 9, 12. So we know that 3 and 4 are also factors of 12. How about 4? Well, we've already got 4. So we've taken care of all the factors for 12. Let's take these and let's write them in order from least to greatest. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. What we're going to do next is we're going to look at what factors do both of these numbers share. What do they have in common? Well, I'm going to grab another marker color to make it easier to see. Let's look at what factors they both have in common. They both have a 1, they both have a 2, and they both have a 4. If we're looking to find the greatest common factor, remember, greatest means biggest, common means what they share, which factor is the greatest common factor? Well, the greatest factor that they share is a 4. We're going to come back to this original problem. We're going to simplify or make it small as we can using division. So since they both share a 4, and that's the greatest common factor, we're going to divide the top and the bottom by 4 to create the simplest form. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. This right here, friends, is the simplest form of 4/12. Let's do another one together. I'm going to erase this so we have more room. This is going to be one of those concepts that you're going to look at it and think, that's really complicated. Once you start practicing it, it's really very easy. What if we have something like 9/18? If we want to put it in simplest form, we've got to figure out the factors for these numbers. So let's take 9 and let's break it down. What are the factors? Well, 1 times 9, it can't be divided by 2 because it's not an even number. Let's try 3. 3, 6, 9. 3 times 3 is the other way that you can make 9. There are no more factors of 9. So if I'm going to write them out, I would write down 1, 3, and 9 in order from least to greatest. Let's do it with 18. Okay, first one is going to be 1 times 18. We know it's an even number because it ends with an 8, so we know we can take a 2 out of it. So 2 times what is 18? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 9. 2 times 9. How about 3? Do you guys remember our trick for finding 3's? We've got to add the digits together and see if that can be divided by 3. Well, 1 plus 8 is 9. Can 9 be divided by 3? It certainly can. So it goes in 6 times. So these are the factors of 18. Let's list them. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. Again, if we're finding greatest common factor, we need to find the factor that they both share that's the biggest one. So let's switch back to another color because it makes it easier to see. Let's find the factors that they have in common. They both have a 1, they both have a 3, and they both have a 9. If we want the greatest common factor, we pick the biggest one they have in common. So that greatest common factor is 9. So we can come back over here, and we know we're going to use division because we're making it smaller. I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 9 and see what I get. So 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 18 divided by 9 is 2. So 1/2 is the simplest form of 9/18.